Watch your step there. How are you?
Hey.
Got a few fans here. Have a seat. And I noticed we have your video in the meantime playing here.
Yes.
We debuted that here on the show. We loved it. And about a month ago, some good lyrics there.
Thank you.
You co-wrote it.
Yes, I did.
Good job on that.
Wrote it with Rob Crosby and Will Rambo.
And how did that idea for the song come about?
Actually, it came from a conversation I was having with a friend just after I left Arista Records. A friend of mine said, "My God, well, gosh, you don't have a major record deal right now. What are you going to do?" And I said, "Well, you know what? Damn it, life goes on in the meantime, so I'm just going to have a life."
It does.
And I went, "That sounds like a song." So I went and wrote it down, and I got with my co-writers and said, "Hey, I've got an idea for a song, and it's loosely based on, like, remember John Lennon said, 'Life is what happens to you while you're making other plans.'"
Right.
So it's all about how you have dreams, and sometimes they don't turn out the way you expect them to, but you end up getting married and having a family, and that in its own way is a dream come true as well. So.
Well, now I know you took like a year off from all that to really focus on the songwriting, and you came up with a lot. I'm sure it's on your album, Followin'a Feelin here.
Yes.
Put a lot into that.
Yes, I called it my year of detoxification of the soul. Very wordy word.
Yeah, I like that. You guys write that down.
No, I just wanted to be a writer again and get back to. I moved to Nashville originally as a songwriter, and when you get out and you're traveling a lot and you're promoting a record, there's not a lot of time to do everything. So it was a good time for me to just stop and fill up the well and be a writer. So that's what I did, and that's where most of these songs came from, and that's why the title track is the name of the album.
Is that like it's like a philosophy for you, right?
Yeah, it was a new one. They change every year or so, you learn something else. But I just felt like with this record, I just wanted to do exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want to think about whether it would get played or not, or I just wanted to go in to the studio and have fun and follow my gut. And that's where that title came from.
Put something you want into it. Well, I know when you left your label, you took a little time and really, rather than going looking for a new label, you just started your own up. I mean, now you're an executive. Now, how does that give you a little bit more pressure, being involved in your own label?
Just a tad.
Just a little bit. Do you answer to yourself?
Yes, I'm a very bossy person too.
Yeah. You don't like.
No. No, it's a little bit extra pressure, but it's fun because I've always been interested in both sides of the business, the corporate side and the creative side. And I think it's really important for any new artist or anybody out there who wants to get into the music business to take care of the business as well as everything else. So, and I thought it would be a big adventure, So my publisher and I, Regeyer Buchanan, who is the president of We Records, we just talked about it and decided to just go out and have fun and make a record and try and, the marketplace is changing so much that there's room now to try new different things. So
the
that's
first,
what we're trying to do.
First product out of the label is Followin'a Feelin. And
yes, first
you
artist.
Are doing...
My artist, Sherrie Austin, here is our first artist.
Lovely artist you have. I see a lot of promise in her. All right, now we got to take a look back to our countdown. She's going to stay right here with us. Right now at number 6, it's Phil Vassar with Six Pack Summer. Still talking. I've asked a few questions. Let somebody else do it now. We got another Phil. You there?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Phil. What's your question for Sherrie?
Okay. Who are your favorite artists, and what are some of the CDs that you can't stop playing at home?
My favorite artists, I guess, in country music, I would say are people like Dolly Parton, George Strait, Vince Gill. Gosh, there's so many. They're probably my top 3. Leanne Womack. Big Leanne Womack fan and Patti Loveless fan as well. And right now, actually, in my CD player at home, I'm listening to the Beatles.
The Beatles?
So, yeah, I got
and
the
you
Beatles.
Mentioned John Lennon already.
Greatest hits in there right now.
Yeah. Well, now you mentioned
jamming to the Beatles.
As well as you said Dolly Parton was your influence. How does it make you feel that she's recorded one of your songs?
Oh, I nearly passed out.
Really?
Well, I ran into her... it must have been a few months back, and I went up to her, and she was all decked out. You know how she is.
Dolly?
Looking fabulous.
Yeah.
The big hair, the big, And she had a cute little pair of shoes on that I just loved, too, and I think we're the same size. But she was so lovely, and I said, "Thank you for recording my song." And she said, "Oh, which song is that?" And I said, "You just did a duet with Hal Ketchum that I wrote called The Lucky Ones. And she said, well, I just love that song. That's such a great song. You're a really good songwriter. And I nearly just died and went to heaven right there.
That's it.
But it was amazing because I had just cut Jolene and she'd sent me the note saying how much she loved it. And then she returned the compliment by cutting one of mine.
That is amazing. Now we have another question here from an audience member. Yep. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Joy Lewis.
Hi.
Hi, Joy.
From Murfreesboro, Tennessee. My question is basically, when did you decide to pursue music, really? Like when you said that you were just going to go for it, and just forget about everything and just do it?
Well, Mum says I came out of the womb singing. So I don't remember doing anything else. I've sung and written songs my whole life, and thanks to all you guys, I've been able to make a living out of it so far. And I've lived in 2 countries now because I'm from Australia, and I got my start singing in country music festivals there, and I got to open up for Johnny Cash. That was my big break when I was like 14 years old. And then my whole family moved halfway around the world pretty much for me, which at the time seemed, no big deal. But the older I get, I realize, what a big sacrifice that was. And from California, I moved to Nashville, and I turned up in Nashville with enough money for 2 months. I had a guitar, a suitcase, and I just started knocking on doors. I didn't know anybody. I just had a couple of names on a piece of paper, and I started making phone calls, and my little accent got me through the door. And that's where it all started. And I just have always wanted to do it. It's what I love to do.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much for your question. I can't thank you enough for being here. Now you're going to perform for us later, right?
I sure am.
I'm excited
about that. It's nice meeting you too. I've been watching on your TV, but I haven't seen you in
Thank you very
person.
much.
You're much better looking in person too.
Oh, you hear that? No.
Well, he's cute on TV, but he's a real little cutie pie in real life.
So now that I'm red,
look at that little face. Oh, he's getting all embarrassed now.
Mom, I hope you're digging this. Okay, now she's going to be performing her future hit later in the show. Will I go splash some cold water on my face? You might tell us who's up next in the countdown.
Okay, yes. At number 5, we have Miss Cindy Thompson with What I Really Meant to Say. Cold cup of coffee and a sad song. The turn of the radio, and I sing along. I know you once loved me, in your own way. But when the sun finds your window, I've been miles away. Ahead of the heartache, 1 foot out the door, and it's too late. The old words to stop me from crossing that floor. Like the moon fades to the dawn. I'm going gone. Living like but I can't stand. Just watch fire. A little more every day. And I'm one step ahead me from crossing that floor. And like the moon fades with the dawn, I'm going, going, gone. And I'm one step ahead of the heartache, 1 foot out the door, and it's too late. The words to stop me from crossing that floor. And like the moon fades to the dawn, going, going, gone. Hey, this is me moving on. I'm going, going, gone.
Sherrie Austin, everybody. One more time. We'll be right back.